T-minus 2 days until you can read Hillary Clinton's new memoir, Hard Choices, if you're so inclined. But the political press has already devoured it, and a lot of people who have read it think it's the first chapter of another Clinton presidential campaign. So now it's time for all of her TV interviews related to the book. They begin this week with ABC, which released this snippet to preview Diane Sawyer's primetime special.
You would release your medical records if you ran for president?
I would do what other candidates have done, absolutely.
And what would you like to say to Karl Rove about your brain?
That I know he was called Bush's brain in one of the books written about him, and I wish him well.
After Diane Sawyer, Clinton talks with Robin Roberts on ABC's Good Morning America. And then it's Cynthia McFadden of NBC News, Jane Pauley of CBS, Christiane Amanpour in a town hall format here on CNN, and Bret Baier and Greta Van Susteren of Fox News. Expert interviewers, every one of them. But did you notice something in that list? All of the interviews, except for Baier, are women. So, you might ask, is that a coincidence? I doubt it. You might also ask, would we notice if all the interviewers were men? That's a fair question, but I think we should notice if that were the case. The fact of the matter is that an A-lister like Clinton, whether woman or man, Democrat or Republican, can effectively pick and choose who gets the interviews, because everybody wants the interview. That's why media reporters scrutinize the selection, and so do political reporters. So let me bring in two of them right now. Mark Leibovich, back from last week. He's the chief national correspondent for the New York Times Magazine. And my former cubicle mate at the Times, Amy Chozick. She's now a national political reporter there, and she's on the Clinton beat. Thank you both for joining me.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brian.
Amy, let me start with you on this almost all-female lineup of interviewers. Is it a conscious choice on the part of Clinton's aides, or is it a coincidence?
Well, as I told you before, as a woman covering Hillary Clinton, I hadn't even noticed that the whole lineup was female until some other media organizations had pointed it out. And I think there's nothing unusual in choosing Christiane to discuss a book about foreign policy, or Diane Sawyer for that matter. But I think you have to look at the lineup in the context of the broader rollout of this book. You know, the first excerpt came to Vogue on Mother's Day, and it was a very nice warm excerpt about Hillary Clinton's mother, Dorothy Rodham, and how she was excited to become a grandmother. And then this week we saw the People magazine story, and Hillary Clinton is posing in the kitchen a la Martha Stewart. So I think that when you look at it in the broader sort of, array of things that she's doing around the book, it does sort of make sense.
Mark, we talked last week about whether the press is taking Clinton's bait by talking about this book even before it comes out. Here we are back this week talking about it. Are we falling for their PR strategy?
No, because the Clintons basically have a built-in PR strategy. I mean, they're the Clintons and people are going to cover them. I mean, I think this is clearly a very, very staged rollout. I think it looks a lot like a presidential campaign more and more every day. I mean, at the very least, I hope this will put to rest the Clinton world's claim that they should be treated like a private citizen because, frankly, it seems very much campaigny to me, and I think that's how it's all going to play out.
Amy, do they claim that? Do they say because they're not in office right now, they should be treated more like private citizens?
Yeah, I think that's the general response, is that she's not in office and should not be scrutinized like someone in public office. They've also come up with a, coordinated response to the attack that this is a campaign book. They said, did you call Geithner's book a campaign book? Did you call Gates's book a campaign book? So they're already prepared also to respond to that kind of criticism that this book tour is sort of a pre-campaign.
Was there any news in the People magazine cover story that came out? That was sort of the wave of coverage of the book that came out this week.
Well, it shows how low our bar is for news, because People had said she addresses the Monica Lewinsky issue in this interview. And then, of course, basically she says, I've moved on. We need to all look at the future, and I'm not going to talk about that.
Mark, do you agree? Was there no news in this cover story?
I didn't see anything. I completely agree with the low bar thing. I also think that the point that Gates and Geithner didn't get that question is completely preposterous, because I don't think they're thinking very seriously about running for president. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we should be asking them that, but I'm saying that with some sarcasm, I must admit.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, sorry.
There was a story this week, Amy, about a so-called secret summit between you and your editor and some Clinton aides. They were apparently complaining about unfair coverage. Is that true?
I'm not going to be able to confirm or talk about any meetings, but I would just say that this is part of the broader point that there's all this narrative about the Clintons and the press, and I just find it interesting because compared to what? Like the Obama White House has such a good relationship with the press?
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, to me, that meeting, if it happened, sounded like a normal part of the journalism process. You talk to your sources all the time. Is that fair to say?
I would say that generally, yes. People often send their representatives into the Times, and I'm sure CNN and every other media outlet to discuss coverage, voice their complaints, and try to get something better out of it.
With this book rollout, what do you expect to happen after these waves of television interviews that we've seen? Is this going to have a lasting import for her?
Yeah, I think that this is, I think that these interviews could be what breaks news. I mean, people who have seen the book have told me there's nothing sort of earth-shattering. Mark wrote a very humorous column anticipating nothing much in the book, but I think that she could break news in the ABC interview with Diane Sawyer, in the CNN town hall with Christiane, so we'll definitely be watching that.
I mean, there's basically two ways that you could look at this. I mean, on one hand, you can go with the cliche that she is reintroducing herself to the American public. You could argue that she never left. I mean, on the other hand, I mean, is she giving, the American public an early jumpstart if she runs for president to get sick of the whole Clinton drama again? Now, that's, again, I mean, who knows how it will play out, but it does seem like this has been a very, very carefully calculated media strategy, which is generally how they proceed.
Mark Leibovich, Amy Chozick, thanks both for joining me.
Thanks. Brian, I miss you.
Yeah,
I miss you all too at the Times, but I at least get to read you every day.
Well, I feel left out. I mean, I miss you guys too.
We miss you too, Mark.
All right, great.